Welcome guys to my channel. It's Victor here and I'm back again with another video. If you happen to be new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification button for you to be notified when I upload a new video. And yeah, so let's get into it. Today I'll be talking about online banking and traditional banking, like online banking versus traditional banking, and what do you prefer. This is basically just like all opinions. So basically online banking is the same as internet banking, web banking, or e-banking, electronic banking. You just have to conduct all your financial transactions online, as opposed to a traditional banking method where you have to go to a physical location. So basically that's just the main difference. And what's your preference? Like, if you guys would let me know, like, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the traditional way, or do you like the new way where everything is just being conducted online? Nowadays we have the smartphones and everything. Do you still want to go back to the bank and check your balance? I know that sounds just, yeah, but I still have friends who prefer going to the bank to conduct, transactions that they can do online. And based on the research that I've done, I've come to see that we are now actually moving into into a new dimension whereby banking is more of everything is just being internet conducted, if that sounds right. So what is traditional banking? Basically, it's still the same thing. It's where you just have a physical branch. And online banking is basically you're just conducting everything over the internet. And I know of some financial institutions that do not have a physical location. The only location they have in is on the internet. No, the only presence they have, or maybe like a platform, is just the internet. And I know of a couple companies here in the Bay Area that do that. But before I can even talk about them, I'll first of all have to make sure that they do not have physical locations. So, and what are some of the differences between internet and traditional banking? So, number one is, okay, these both platforms are for customers of the bank who tend to withdraw money. Number one, if you're using the ATM, that is for internet, that is e-banking, basically you can use a different, not all online banks do have like an actual ATM, what is it called, where you go, well, like an ATM location where you can just go walk in, like Bank of America. That's an example. So if maybe you have an online bank that doesn't have that, you can still use these other ATMs, but you'll be charged a fee. So these both are platforms for the customers of the bank to withdraw money or to perform their banking transactions. Basically, that's it. And the most important thing about internet banking is that they're always accessible, which means you can always operate your account anywhere at any time. And you can make your bill payment or you can check your bank balance by just using mobile apps. You don't have to go to an ATM to check your balance. I've actually had people say that, the whole mobile banking thing is not secure and everything. I don't believe that. I've been using it ever since I can remember. And some of the online banks even allow the customer to track their payments by conveying, mobile text. If you feel that it's not secure for you, you can always sign up for like the notifications that will alert you if something is very suspicious. And that is where now we are headed to. Now, the main difference between these two is just that one has a physical location, the other one doesn't have a physical location. And some of the comparisons, that is, comparisons between internet banking and traditional banking. Customers can always have electronic or online contacts. That is for the internet banking. But for the traditional banking, you can have the face-to-face communication with bankers. For example, there's an issue with maybe like let's say like a transaction that you do not approve, it's always easier to call as opposed to like going to the physical location. Or you can always, maybe if you feel like if you're using the traditional banking route, you can always walk to the bank and talk to a banker face to face. Customer service in the online bank don't have to stand in lines to perform their banking transactions, as opposed to traditional banks whereby you have to queue and wait. And that's what I let me say that we are now living in a world that is full of impatient people, and I'm not one of them. Just saying. But at times it may take a while because some customers may need a little bit more time with some of their cases. If it could be something that is very sensitive, it may take a while. So you may end up waiting a lot. You may end up spending some time in the line waiting. The costs for internet banking, actually, most of the banks that I know, they have no costs incurred in internet banking because they don't have a physical presence, as opposed to a traditional bank whereby they're always charging people late fees, all these fees. Okay, well, not basically like all late fees, but they always have like they always charge fees that when you come to think of it, you're like, oh yeah, I think I understand why they do charge these fees, because they have to pay rent for the buildings if they don't own that building, renting out the space. They have employees that they have to pay, that kind of a thing. So accessibility, internet banking is very easy. You have access 24/7. But traditional banking, accessibility is limited in hours. You may, 9 to 5, 8 to 5, that kind of thing. And basically that's it. I'm really interested in finding out what you guys think. Do you think you would sign up for an internet bank as opposed to a traditional bank? And what are some of the things you would look at if you would prefer the internet bank as opposed to the traditional bank? For me, the big one would be number one, not queuing, not having to queue. And when, like, for example, if you're trying to open a bank account with maybe, like, let's say a random internet bank, you can fill out your application online, and it's very easy. Nowadays, it's so easy. If you have your driver's license or passport, it's very easy to just sign up for an account. And you won't have somebody, checking whether, it's let me just say it's just straightforward. It's very straightforward. So, and another thing, internet banking is like the most superior technology for educated and busy people who don't have much time to go to the banks for banking undertakings. And it's useful for customers to meet their daily requirements for banking transactions. And actually, one thing that I've come to see is that 86% of individuals with income of, let me be like, let's say, maybe 100,000 and above do have online banking. Not even 100 and above. Like, for example, maybe like $1 million and above could have. I still have to check on that, but I actually read that somewhere. Like, most people do prefer to have the accessibility is one of the most is key to some busy people, because there's some transactions you just don't want to like walk into the bank and have the bank approve, because it may take a while if you're dealing with like a significant amount of money. So basically that's it, guys. That's all about internet banking. I'd want to know what you guys have to say about in regards to this. So thank you so much, guys, for listening, and don't forget to subscribe. On a journey to 100 subscribers, and if you guys like this kind of content, be sure to like it and hit that notification button to be notified when I upload a new video. All right, guys, bye bye and have a good day.